we are dumb sheep. We really are. And I've told you before, I really like the Greek word for sheep, which is probaton. I told you one time I was teaching speaking at San Quentin. And that was one of the messages that I delivered was, I gave a message on the shepherd and the sheep and gave a translation and said, the sheep are, that's the Greek probaton, like the word probation. So, the inmates understand that. But if you really think about it, and we laugh at that, but if you really think about that, there is that element that we should kind of take note of as well. We're given this life. We think we know what we're doing most of the time. Somebody had to remind me just as I was on my way here that sometimes the things that we think are good for us are indeed not good for us. And sometimes God will protect us from ourselves. The same concept of the Lord shepherding us and carrying us because we cannot carry ourselves. Sometimes, no, that grass looks pretty attractive over there. I'm going for that green stuff because that's a different color green over there. That looks like better food. And you end up wandering off, and before you know it, that safety of numbers that you were with is eclipsed somewhere, and you find yourself, you've wandered off and strayed. So I love this concept, which then, of course, Peter picks up in 1 Peter and verse 5 as the final concept, when he says in 1 Peter 5 and verse 4, and when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. So see the whole idea of being carried and tended to and sometimes whacked with the rod. There's a reward at the end. If there was no reward, I might just say, wow, all of that for what? But there's a reward there. You shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. So not only is there comfort for the trip, but eyes focused on exactly where it is you're going to, that particular place, gives you also an idea that the trip has value. There's something at the end. I don't mean at the end per se, but just what Peter says. When he shall appear, ye shall receive. So, I don't know. I think sometimes I find these, what I'll call them, little nuggets that give me motivation to string a few scriptures together and then look at the whole. And I can see from beginning to end how, God calls Moses as a type to lead the people out. And he is the shepherd of the people, per se, leading the people out. And you could just keep stringing those on to see how God has always been taking care of his people like this and carrying them when they could not carry themselves. And the beautiful picture is that at the end of all this, when he appears, you shall receive something that fades not away. It is the crown that says, not only did you make it, but the victory is yours. Now, it's a small lesson, hopefully with a big impact of comfort on the heart, because I think we all can use some of that on a daily, sometimes hourly basis. Now get on the telephone.